Welcome to another episode of Double J's List. If you get a chance, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Hit the like button. That would be great too. Today I'm coming at you with an F150 Lightning. I've finally been able to get my hands on one. Take a quick look at this. This is great. So I've got a story of how I was able to get my hands on one. I'll tell that a little bit later as in the driving portion of the video. But first we're going to tour the outside and inside and take a quick look at what makes the Lightning the Lightning. So we'll start off on the outside. This one is an XLT with not too many other options. It has the standard range battery. Most of the reviews that I've seen seem to be with ones that have the long range battery. So this is kind of exciting to see. This one has a range of about 230 miles as opposed to the extended range, which goes over 300 miles. So I'm pretty used to about 250-ish miles from my Chevy Bolts. This one's a little bit less, but I think it's something you could completely and totally live with, especially with the fact that this is such a large vehicle that you could do a whole heck of a lot of stuff with. So we'll start off by taking a tour of the Frunk. All of the Frunks in F-150 Lightnings are power, even going down to the Pro trim, which I want. This one is the XLT, like I said. It beeps, it gives it a little pause in the beginning because it doesn't want to hit anybody. And then you go inside and you get this very, very big storage space. Over here to the left are power outlets. You get USB-C, standard USB, and 4 120 outlets. A button to let yourself out in case you get trapped. Here's a button for lights. The lights are already up here. I think if you hit it again, yeah, it'll turn them off and then turn them on. There are hooks for groceries and other bags. Super handy. There's a compartment underneath here. It looks like they've included a charger. This also states that you can put up to 400 pounds of items on here. Also has a ruler built in, which is kind of neat. So put that back. Looks like this one has a cargo net. Well, look at that. You can use that as a divider. I didn't even know that. That's really neat. Okay, so we've learned something today. Okay. Now to close it, you can use, there's a button right there if you can see that. That closes it. You can also hit the button on the remote twice like I did to open it. So we'll close this up. Now around back, this one is optioned with the step to get inside the bed. This is on a lot of different other Ford F-150s. It's been around for a few more years. Nice to see here. When I order my Pro, I think I'm going to order this as an option. I think this is worth the money, but you press the button, that comes out. You can just kind of jump up there. For extra stability, you pull on this yellow part right here and then tilt up. And then you've got a step to get back up. This one has the ruler on the back. Now this one also has the Pro Power package, which gives you over 9,000 watts of extra power to do things with. So down here you've got 2 120 outlets, 2 more 120 outlets, and you've got a big 240 watt outlet right here. 9,000 watts. I think this is going to be extremely popular with campers. There's some sort of system that you can get to tie things down. There are some hooks up at the front too that are more standard, as you can see, and at the back here. Very nice. So to close this all back up, it looks like you start with the handle. You press the 1 as in step 1, and a little tough with one hand, but you get that down. Then you press the 2 button down here. Yeah, a lot of camera there. Push it back in. And then this goes back in. Very nice. This also has the spots so you can put clamps. If you're clamping a piece of wood down, you want to cut it, you can do that with this. Very handy. Very, very nice. Nothing special here as far as a soft open or anything like that. You got to use your own muscles to make it come down nicely. I'm fine with that. This has the towing package. I'll go over the window sticker when I go inside. So it's got that pin and that pin along with a hitch. So moving on to the inside. One other thing I wanted to note before I go inside. If you've used the car configurator on Ford's website, you've noticed that it makes the rear of the truck, for whatever reason, and the computer model of the vehicle that you built, look very low in the back. Look how high this sits in the back. So this looks like a normal F-150. This doesn't look bad. I was kind of concerned because of the revised rear suspension, which you can see a little bit of if you peek through the wheel well here. Fully independent suspension. There's a control arm right there. Coil shock, no leaf springs. Coil spring, I should say, no leaf springs. So that's pretty great. And then we'll head on in. So before we start digging in here, here's the window sticker. This is just a standard F-150 XLT. This is Atlas Blue, in case you couldn't tell. This one has the liner trace style carpets. So it's these rubber things that go down here. They're actually quite nice. This being an XLT, it has carpeting, unlike the Pro model, which has vinyl floors and vinyl seats. This has cloth seats because this is an XLT. Moving on, it has the Pro Power package, which as you can see is 1070. That gets you the over 9,000 watts of power for all sorts of stuff. The Max trailer package and that tailgate step, which is $430. So, not a ton of options on this XLT, which is great because it seems like all the ones that we've seen so far in a lot of reviews have been very heavily optioned platinums or lariats. This one is an XLT, which is good to see. Oh, here's a little Easter egg I just noticed. Take a look at that. They've got an American flag built into the trim for the vent. That's really cool. Okay. Awesome, I like that. So moving on. This being the XLT, and I believe it's called the XLT Premium package. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. This has the regular screen with hard controls for the radio and climate control. If you want the big screen, this is the only thing that comes on the Pro, and then this is based on the XLT. You can get the XLT, I believe, Premium package, I think it's called, which gets the large tablet style screen that eliminates these buttons. It's all screen with that really neat floating button right here. So that's on that's standard on Lariats and that's standard on the Platinum. But you can still get an XLT with the smaller screen, and smaller screen is a very subjective term. If you take a look here, first of all, wow, I like that graphic. It says Built Ford Tough on there. We've got another cool graphic happening here. And turn the volume down. All right. Now, like I said, for a small screen or the base screen, this is still quite good. Now you can see that I've got CarPlay playing right here. Very nice. And then off to the side, it's got my Sirius XM. What's going on that? So what's going on the radio, which is great. So you can toggle through. You make this the big one, your audio, your CarPlay, bring that up. Navigation, bring that there. Your drive modes. I've driven it only in normal so far, and what I can tell you is it's absolutely crazy fast in normal. Especially with this being the small battery one, because the big battery one's supposed to be even quicker. This is more than enough for a full-size truck. It's absolutely crazy. So, and tow haul and off-road, all sorts of other things. It's kind of cool when you change through the modes. You press, now it's in normal, and then the gauge cluster changes for sport. It gets kind of gray and red. You put it in off-road. It turned off my one-pedal driving, which is adjusted to that, and then you do tow haul. It looks more like the normal screen, but apparently it does tow haul type things. But when you put it back in normal, that's your adjustment right there. You have to actually go to the screen for your different modes to turn on one-pedal driving. I'm very glad that it has it. I like it a lot on my Bolts. What's kind of funny is my wife has been driving my Bolt recently. She hates the one-pedal driving. The one-pedal driving switch is right here on the Bolt UV. and she likes it because you can turn on, turn off. This, you have to dig through screens. So maybe Ford will rethink that on the next update for the next year. We don't know. But moving on. Lots of cool stuff on here. Oh, that's the Pro Power on board. I don't even know what any of this does yet. I literally just got this, and I don't have a lot of time with it, so I just want to cover whatever I can cover. Oh, this is kind of neat. So this is telling you what each circuit is using and how much amperage and wattage. This is okay. I could see this being really fun to play with. It's even got a button to test. I'm not going to monkey around with that right now. So let's go for a drive before I get caught up. Well, actually, before I go for a drive, let's cover a couple more things here on the interior. We saw the different things in the screen. I haven't messed around too much with this menu screen yet. I'm sure it's pretty similar to other F150s. Nice steering wheel controls. It's the leather wrap steering wheel because it's an XLT. It's not the plastic steering wheel like in the Pro. If you get the premium package, you also get heated seats and a heated steering wheel. I wish that was more of an option on every single one. I've talked about that before, but I digress. One thing I noticed about the climate control, first of all, this is dual climate control. I believe all of these have standard dual climate control. The auto button has 3 different settings, and it changes what it limits your fan speed to. It's really interesting. That's actually very nice, because sometimes I don't like the fan being as high as it is when I've got the auto. I just would like it to be a little bit less. That does that. That's great. It was very quick and easy to set up with my phone. This has a giant center console. This has the switch right here. That folds the shifter down if you're in park. Press this handle and fold it out, and you've got a worktop. You can't get this, unfortunately, on the Pro, which doesn't make sense to me, because the Pro is the one that someone's going to be doing a lot of work with, and they might need to open up a laptop and do something. So I don't know why they didn't include that. It must have been a cost thing, but that would be very nice on the Pro. But I don't absolutely have to have it, but it would be nice to include that. Regular 12-volt outlet, an actual outlet for your house, 2 glove boxes, and here's the other glove box. Okay. Sunglasses holder up here. Nice cup holders. Little cubby down here to put things. I like that. Cubby here, cubby here. No shortage of storage. Down here, you've got your adjustable pedals. I'm glad I found that when I first got in, because the gas pedal was just like way too close to me for the way it was set up. Lights for the sides of the mirror, so you can light up what's on the side of you. There's the Frunk button, and gauge lights, headlight switch. Very good. Door handle sunk into the actual door pull like other Fords. Very cool. Back seat has a ton of room. Lots more storage here. Cup holder. Map pockets. Huge back seat. Very, very good. From what I could tell, this is a vinyl. So it looks like it's cloth, but it's vinyl. So I guess that's better for cleaning. I'll have to take a look at what the Pro looks like. I think that's hard plastic on the Pro. Well, anyway. All right, let's get behind the wheel and see how it goes. One more thing before we go out and drive. Something that I noticed that I hadn't seen in any other EVs, and there might be other ones. I haven't seen every one this close yet. This has gauges for battery temperature and motor temperature. From what I understand, when you get the towing package, I believe you get extra cooling for the motors. So if you don't get the tow package, do you get the motor temperature gauge in the screen? I don't know. Leave something in the comments. See if anyone knows anything about this. But all right, we're going to get to the drive now. Okay, driving the Ford F-150 Lightning. I've got it on one pedal driving because that's what I prefer. At least in my car. I haven't experienced it enough to really make a judgment on this car, but I'm a big fan of one pedal driving. One of the things that makes an EV really neat, in my opinion. So first off, like all EVs, this thing is extraordinarily quiet. It does make a little bit of a sound when you put it in drive. There's some sort of speaker outside making a noise to let pedestrians that you're around because it's so quiet. This has a set of Michelin tires. I did some research on them. I can't remember what the model is. It's a very quiet tire. The reviews on Tire Rack for it, though, state that even though it's in all season. It is not very good in winter climates with ice and snow, so it might be something to consider to change out, either put winter tires on or get a more aggressive tire to run year round. I'm not sure, but they are very quiet. They're very comfortable in dry conditions, which a lot of the reviews said that. Now, it's very, very standard F-150. It's a little bit upscale with the center console and the shifter down here. I'm used to trucks being really basic and having a shifter on the column and being kind of plain, but this is extraordinarily comfortable. These seats are actually really, really supportive and nice. The throttle, I'm still in regular mode. I'm going to shift into sport mode right now. And the gauge has changed, and oh boy, yeah, the throttle is a lot more touchy now. So, very different. This thing has no business being this quick. It's incredible how hard this thing pulls. I couldn't believe it when I drove it. So I'm going to take it on my back road route that I normally do, and we're going to see if it does sports car things. It's still a big truck, and it's really heavy because it's got a big battery. This one's not as heavy as the long range battery. From what I heard from some reviewers, that makes the regular or the standard range battery trucks handle a little bit nicer because there's not all that weight. I don't know. I haven't driven a long range, and I don't plan on buying one because you're forced to go to at least an XLT, and the costs start getting really high, and I can totally live with 230 miles of range. This suspension is incredibly compliant. Let's stop on it real quick. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. Woo! It's quick. It has no business being that fast. I didn't even have it that long. Wow, that was fun. So, I thought my Bolt felt really fast. That does 0 to 60 in the 6s or so. It's quick. This 0 to 60 in the 5s, according to a lot of the tests with the standard range battery. It feels really quick. So I'm about to hit a couple of corners here. This is kind of a long sweeper. We'll see how that independent rear suspension feels. Turn-ins, not amazing. It's a full-size truck, but good for what it is. I would say it handles actually nicer than my 99 Frontier. I realize that's not a very high bar, but it's a much smaller, lighter truck than this. It definitely rides a whole heck of a lot nicer. That truck rides kind of terrible. It's a different era. So yeah, here we're going to go over some bumps here. Hardly feel them at all. I mean, American full-size trucks, that's what they do. They ride, and these half-tons, they ride so nice. And oh my gosh, this is too fast for this. Wow, you can get in a lot of trouble. I don't want to floor it because it's too much. This is wild. Oh my gosh. All right, a little bit here. Oh my. Okay, yeah, you can only floor it for like a second, and you're like, okay, that's enough. This is too much. Wow. Oh my gosh. Woohoo. Okay. So that is solid. Granted, I'm not the most aggressive driver in the world. There's probably people that would push it a lot more than I would, but this is all the truck you're going to need, I think, at least for power. Wow. So this is a great complete package. I can't believe what you get. Obviously, the Pro's not going to be as nice as this, but it's still, I think, going to be quite nice. Same wheels and tires, so not too crazy. I'd like to find some more bumpy pavement to see how this feels, but it rides like like a full-size 1500 truck. But that rear end, I feel like you can feel that independent rear suspension. It's kind of composed in a corner, a lot more than a truck should be. And it's kind of funny because this powertrain, the all-wheel drive, so it gets all the traction it needs, and then a motor at the front and a motor at the back, just putting down all the torque. Absolutely incredible. So right now, there are a lot of reservations for these, myself included, and Ford is really struggling to meet them. They said they're done with 2022s already as far as taking orders. So anyone that puts an order in from here on out will be a 2023. Last week, the general manager of the dealership that I'm ordering mine from called me and said if I wanted to fulfill my order, I could do it if I wanted a Lariat. And I said, I don't want a Lariat. I don't want to spend that kind of money. It's a $70,000 truck. So he said I'm going to have to wait until 2023 at least. So that's the reality of this. All right, I'm headed into a corner now. We're going to see how this feels. This is a really nice and tight corner. Yeah, it shifts. Wow, it shifts power to the rear a little bit, but the front's still clawing away. Almost like an Evo, like an old Mitsubishi Evo. Used to claw out of corners. If you've ever ridden one going quickly around a corner, like you just feel every corner of the car doing everything. This is doing that, but it's a huge truck. This is wild. I wonder if the fact that I'm in sport mode too biases more towards the rear. I don't know. That'd be a great question for one of the engineers or anyone in the comments. If you found that information anywhere, put them in there. All right. One more little twisty road here. Oh my gosh. All right, so when you floor it, it does actually kind of flatten out. It stops really producing. That time I think I was able to floor it for 3 seconds. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Wow. I'm not trying to exaggerate this either. Like this is pretty cool. Yeah, so that was a little bumpy in that corner, and the rear suspension really tracked well. Oh, I almost forgot the story and how I actually was able to get behind the wheel of the Ford Lightning. So my local dealership learned from the Mach-E when it was released. They got a demo similar to this one. This is a demo vehicle for the lot. They can't sell this for 6 months. They learned that they got all sorts of people coming in wanting to test drive the Mach-E, and if you didn't have a reservation, there's no point. You're not getting one anytime soon. So what they did with that one is they made it a service loaner. And in order to drive one, you had to have your vehicle in for service. And then you could use it as a loaner vehicle. So what had happened is last week, my wife hit a piece of road debris near her where they were doing some construction on a building. And it flattened her tire. So I had to actually leave work and go and fix it and get the spare on. And I took it to the Ford dealer, even though it was a Tiguan, right, to fix the flat, which actually needs a whole new tire. They created a huge hole, this piece of metal. And I said, hey, can I take the Lightning as a loaner? And they said, sure. I'm like, I said, it was more than that. I said, I've got a reservation and I'd really like to experience it. And they let me have it for the night. So that's how that happened. Sorry I forgot to include that in the original part, but thank you for watching. Please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. We're going to be doing more EV stuff and hopefully all sorts of other things. So thank you for watching.